I'd like to ask for a bereavement leave. It's okay. Go ahead and take it off. I would never take a day off over a funeral, though. So, why weren't you at the funeral? Oh.
Trouble Busters!
Thank you so much for everything, sir. You'll always be in my heart. My name is Alan. I just said farewell to my father-in-law, the man whom I've respected the most as he makes his way to heaven. My job starts here since I'm a mortician. However, I've never taken a single day off ever since I started working here, no matter what happened. I wish I could do that too, but I'd like to ask for a bereavement leave. Okay, that's fine. But I'll be taking over the funerals that you're currently in charge of. All of them. What? But this funeral is about my family member, and I'd like to take care of it. The funeral director isn't allowed to be off duty. I'll take care of it the way I usually do, so let me handle it. Okay, I understand. Here's the condolence gift. Hey, Alan, you requested another day off today? Yes, the funeral is until today. It's okay. Go ahead and take it off. I would never take a day off over a funeral, though. I didn't take a day off for my wedding, nor any of the memorials for our deceased relatives. I'm so proud of myself. Can I have you attend the funeral today? What? Why? Well, it would mean a lot to us. No, I can't. I have to take care of your tasks for you, so I'm too busy for that. That's why I handed you the condolence gift in advance. Okay. Work is more important to me, and I don't think I need to attend your family's funeral. I feel grateful, though, since I'll be taking all the credit from you. I understand where he's coming from, but I wonder if this is okay. What if someone else were in the same situation that I'm in right now? That's not okay. I can't let him be this way. I need to do something about this. I'm not letting him get away with this. Trouble Busters! Mr. Yale, I heard you wanted to talk to me. May I help you with anything? Hello, Joseph. I checked the guest list and noticed that your name was missing. Guest list? What is this about? Of course, it's the guest list for the funeral. The funeral? I'm sorry to ask, but whose funeral are we talking about? Mr. Harrison, our chairman's funeral. Mr. Harrison? So, why weren't you at the funeral? Oh, I'm sure Alan asked you to attend. That's right. That's right? No, nothing. Since our company decided to host the funeral internally yesterday, the management personnel from all departments were attending. But when I checked the guest list, your name was missing. Did you have an emergency yesterday? Are you going to attend today? That's right. I'm so sorry for this. I was planning to attend today too, so would you like to come with me? What? With you? Is there a problem? No, not at all. Let's go together. All right, let's go confirm with Alan right now. What the heck? I had no idea that it was a funeral for our chairman. I couldn't run, and I ended up coming here. Could this be a prank? Hello, Alan. Hello, Mr. Yale. Mr. Harrison. So, Alan, the funeral that you were serving as a chief mourner at was our chairman's funeral. Why are you questioning that right now? Why is Alan serving as the chief mourner for our chairman's funeral? I thought that role was supposed to be for a family member. I'm his family. What? Mr. Harrison is my father-in-law. Oh my goodness! Does this mean that you were trying to be on a bereavement leave for our chairman's funeral, who's your father-in-law? That's right. Why are you asking? Mr. Joseph said that he didn't think there's a point to have himself attend this funeral. No, you don't have to say that. Joseph, is that true? No, it's not. It's not that I didn't want to attend this funeral. I wasn't able to. What do you mean by that? I planned on attending yesterday, but I had 3 other funerals going on yesterday, so I had no choice but to be absent. I planned on being here before Mr. Yale asked me to come with him, but Alan told me that I didn't have to attend this funeral. What? I was told by Alan that he only wanted family members to be around. I wanted to attend this funeral, but I had no choice. I really had no choice. I never said that. In fact, I even asked you to attend this funeral, but you seem to be indifferent about this, despite me asking you to be here today. No, that's not true. To prove that, I arranged this entire funeral. Well, that was because you said that you wanted to handle it. That's right. I wanted to do it because it was Mr. Harrison's funeral. I wanted to say farewell to him by attending this funeral. But Alan told me that I didn't have to be at this funeral. Again, I never said that. Alan, you shouldn't be lying just because our CEO is in front of us. How dare you? Joseph, are you saying that you were aware of everything but Alan turned your attendance down? That's exactly right! In that case, why is it that Alan turned your attendance down and not anyone else's? I have no idea! Says he. But Alan, do you have anything to say about this? A big fat lie? I knew it! Besides, you didn't even care to attend this funeral because you had no idea that it was our chairman's funeral. I told you that I was aware. Alan told me everything, and that's how I was aware, and yet my attendance was turned down. In that case, have you been aware that Mr. Harrison is my brother? Brother? Mr. Yale! Are you saying that you and Mr. Harrison was siblings? Yes. Huh? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Mr. Yale is my uncle. Your uncle? This means that Alan is my nephew. Hold on a second. I mean, all 3 of you have different last names. I married our chairman's daughter, so that's why my last name is different. And I took my wife's last name when I got married, so that's why my last name is different too. That's not fair. It almost feels as if they were trying to trick me into this situation. I've always thought Alan was just an ordinary associate. This is bad. This is really, really bad. I just remembered that I have to take care of something urgently, so I'd like to excuse myself at this time. That's strange. Alan told me that you didn't have any tasks to handle today. There's a different funeral that I urgently have to take care of. Don't worry about it. I asked a colleague to take care of it. How dare you? That's so unnecessary. I'm feeling thirsty, so I'd like to go buy something at the vending machine. Is this okay with you? I was hoping to drink something else. In that case, go ahead and use this to buy a drink. Huh? Yikes! That's the condolence gift that I gave him! Oh, but for some reason there wasn't anything inside this envelope. What do you mean by that? Well... Oh? Did I forget to put some cash in there? I'm sorry, my bad! Who would ever give an empty envelope by accident? You probably didn't know that this was Mr. Harrison's funeral. That's not possible! It was just a genuine mistake, really! Of course it was. You wouldn't have handed me an empty envelope as a condolence gift if you knew that it was our chairman's funeral. That's not true! Besides, you used the priest dispatch service without telling us to make extra cash, right? Oh my goodness! Is that true, Alan? Yes, and you've been putting extra cash into your pocket, right? Is that how cheap it gets? In that case, he would have saved a lot of cost by utilizing the priest dispatch service. And I hope you don't misunderstand. I did not take that cash to put it in my own pocket. But there's a huge difference in the cost right now. You're taking it the wrong way. I had no choice but to use the priest dispatch service because the local priests were too busy. I called the local priests to talk to them just earlier. Why'd you have to do that? It was because I thought it was strange. It's a familiar area, but my familiar priests aren't showing up to this funeral. But... So, what did they say? Of course, they said they could have made it to this funeral. Oh, no! In that case... Stop looking at me like that. Maybe their plans got all canceled. They said they didn't have any plans for today to begin with. In that case, I must have misunderstood this time. Not just this time, is it? What? Not just this time? Wait, does that mean he's been using the dispatch service all the time? Hey, Alan, you need to stop making misleading statements about me. You've always used the dispatch service when you were arranging funerals, right? Is that true, Joseph? No, it's not true. It's true, and that's why you've been putting extra cash into our pocket, right? You don't have any evidence to prove your point. This is a false allegation. Did you forget what you stored in the storage room? The storage room? What about it? Oh, don't tell me. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I found a bunch of invoices from the priest dispatch service that were stored away. Oh my goodness! Is that true, Alan? Yes, and I brought them all here today. Harrison? Why are these invoices signed by my brother's name? Oh, God! Answer me, Joseph. I don't know. If it's signed off by Mr. Harrison, he must have been the one who signed off on them. What? My brother has always worked closely with the local priests. He would never have used the dispatch service. Only he would know the exact truth at this point. If you're accusing me so badly, why don't you ask him instead? How dare you! I wasn't able to ask my father-in-law at this point, but I've been able to ask others about it. Others? Yes, I reached out to the dispatch service to confirm. Why'd you have to do that at all? What did they say? The person who gave them a call referred to himself as Harrison. Right? In that case, but... When I listened to the recorded conversation, it was your voice, Mr. Joseph. Oh, no! I knew you were behind this. I can't believe you used my brother's name to conceal your embezzlement. Sir, you need to calm down. I did it out of his order. How dare you still choose to lie to me like this? I'm telling you the truth. He said that our company should provide funerals at reasonable prices. And that's why he wanted me to test out the priest dispatch service so I could collect some data. Unless otherwise, do you really think I'd do something like this under my own discretion? Yes. No way!
Help! The priest took all the condolence gifts and...
What? He's gone! Joseph? Yes? How dare you do this to my brother's funeral? It wasn't my fault! No, you used the priest dispatch service without telling us, and you ended up getting fooled. This was an accident! It was an accident, right? Not at all! You don't have to be so mad at me! The fact that you've been putting extra cash into your pocket without hiring the local priest is considered embezzlement, and we will discuss this during our board meeting. What? Do you really have to make such a big deal out of this? Just by looking at what happened this time around, you took $4,100 into your pocket, which is the difference between $4,700 that was paid to you versus the $600 that you spent. Considering that this has been a repeated offense, do you even realize how much you've taken for yourself? I don't think we need to keep talking about this.
I'm sorry, but would you call the police for me?
Sure.
Hold on, you don't have to call the police. Will you also let them know that this is about defamation and fraud? What?
Understood.
What? Why? Of course, you used my father-in-law's name without his consent to degrade his fame, and you've been deceiving the company. I've never taken a day off ever since I was hired, and I feel like I deserve a break. Can you say that after you pay back all your bonus money to the company? The difference was just a dessert. Desserts deserve an extra space in our stomach, right?
In that case, you're going to be responsible for compensating for the condolence gift that the fake priest stole from us.
You should make the fake priest responsible for that.
Of course we do that, but desserts deserve an extra space in our stomach, right?
You're kidding! I'm not gonna pay for that! I've been pulling this off all along! Alan, this is all your fault! Are you blaming me now? That's right! If only you had told me that this was going to be Mr. Harrison's funeral, I would have taken a day off to attend his funeral, and I wouldn't have arranged a priest dispatch service. This is all your fault! That's not even true. Besides, regardless of whose funeral it is, you should have arranged for the local priest the way the deceased's family member asked to. That's exactly what I'm talking about! There are cheaper priests who can be dispatched! What's the point of spending extra money to hire the local priests to begin with? What? Don't you get it? If we're asking them to read the prayers out loud, anyone can handle what the priests handle. It's not like they're gonna cause trouble by going with the cheaper option. You've received complaints. What? I ended up overhearing your phone conversations as I was passing by a few times, but you've been receiving complaints.
Is that true, Alan?
Yes. At that time, because we're in a customer business, I didn't think of it much, but I'm assuming that you were receiving complaints because you arranged the dispatched priests for your clients.
Is that true, Joseph?
Well, if a household belongs to a local temple as a supporting member, they usually need to ask the temple's head priest to perform a sutra recitation. Otherwise, the deceased may not be allowed to be buried in the family grave. I'm sure the fact that you were using dispatched priests was causing some families trouble.
Don't tell me that you've been concealing those complaints too!
Those complaints weren't any of my concern. I just thought that they should figure out any issues on their own. I understand. Do you? We're likely gonna redo this entire funeral at this point, so I'm going to charge you the entire cost of the funeral that we have to do all over again. What? I agree that it should be taken care of on our own, so we'll go ahead and redo the entire funeral. Redo the funeral? But I thought that the funeral was over! But if we don't do it right, my father-in-law won't get to see his ancestors. I want to make sure I bury him in the family grave. That's the least I could do for him. But then... I have respected my father-in-law more than anyone. I'm truly furious for the fact that you ruined his funeral. You completely crossed the line. You don't even deserve to work as a mortician when you can't be empathetic with those who recently lost their loved ones. You're going to face your consequences. You can't do that to me! The fake priest fooled all of us, and I'm one of the victims too! Can't you have mercy on me? Regardless of how it happened, I ended up attending this funeral, so... My father-in-law wouldn't be happy to see you at his funeral when you've been taking advantage of funerals to make extra cash to fulfill your greed! That's not necessarily true!
Oh, it's absolutely true. He must be furious right now.
In that case, I'll go apologize to his grave. We don't want you at his grave.
His grave isn't where you're paying your visit.
No! No, no, no! Joseph was taken away by the police. Because he committed several crimes, he was sentenced to imprisonment. Of course, the fake priest was also arrested for committing fraud, and he went to prison as well. To add, because of the fact that Joseph was taking cash into his pocket, the clients who ended up being victims of his crime all filed a lawsuit against him. And Joseph was found liable to compensate for the damages he caused. Having said that, Joseph now has a debt of $350,000. He did this to himself, though. If only I listened to Alan back then. After I've been able to redo my father-in-law's funeral, I came to visit his grave. May you rest in peace, sir. When I join you there in the future, I hope we get to have fun together again. Trouble Busters!